Good evening, everyone. Tonight we're kicking off our player podcasts. We have club captain Matt Metcalf, Andrew Richardson, also known as Panda, and Darren Donald. Fellas.
Evening.
So we're going to just dive straight in. We'll kick off with Matt Metcalf first. How old were you when you started playing football, and who did you play for?
First started off down in St. Bees when I was about 8-year-old. I'd just moved to the area. I went to Bobby Charlton Soccer School. My mum wanted rid of us for the week. So went to that and then made a couple of pals and started off at St. Bees and then just spiralled from there for me.
We'll go next. Andrew, do you want to go next?
Yeah, I started playing when I was 4 and then went down to amateurs. I just one of my dad's mates from work took it, so he just started playing from there.
And little Dazza, you're old, so you'll have plenty.
Well, no, you'd think it's nice and straightforward for me, mate, but back in the day we weren't playing when we were like 6 and 7, so I started when we were like 8, then that was like early because it was under 9s and under 10s. So I remember I went down to my first training session at Windscale with Sam Pollen at the time. He was my gaffer when I was 8-year-old.
I bet you feel old saying that, eh?
Just a bit.
So our next one, we'll go with Daz and then we'll work back again. Who was your football idol when you were growing up?
I had to think about this one before. You look at like professional players, and when I was a youngster, it was always like Cantona, stuff like that. Beckham was always an icon. But I think you've got to look closer to home, really. They were always the bigger ones for me. I'll give you an example. When I was a youngster, we just used to go around and watch the first team play. So you had people like Joe Shepherd, dare I say it. I didn't really want to say it. I know, as if the ego isn't big enough there. But we have people like Joe Shepherd, Barwise, Jammy, Take a Bride, and people like that. So for me, they were always the ones that I wanted to be like when I was older. Was always, that's what I want to do. I want to play for first team, and I want to be like them guys.
Well, that was an interesting reply. That I wasn't expecting. I was expecting you to go like you said, Cantona or someone like that. But that was an interesting one. Andrew, you're next, mate.
Yeah, I originally wasn't a goalkeeper. I started off as a centre forward, believe it or not. And I looked up a bit like Wayne Rooney because I was a United fan and he was banging goals at the time. But as the ages grew on, I started looking up to people like David De Gea and stuff like that. Goalkeepers of recent times, if you will.
You're a lot younger than Daz, though, so. How about you, Matt?
For me, when I started probably watching football, I think it was when England beat Germany 5-1. So it's your likes of Michael Owen, Gerrard, them sort of probably the first ones that got me watching football.
They're Liverpool players as well, mate.
I know, I've never really sort of idolised the player, I wouldn't have thought, but they were the ones that I started watching the game, and that's what got me started playing football, really, watching them. I'm going to go with Michael Owen.
Michael Owen.
Start banging on the goal like Michael Owen.
So we'll kick off with you again, Matt. How long have you been playing for Windscale first team?
I started playing for Windscale first team in the last year of the county league before they moved back to the Weir side. So I can't remember exactly when that was now. It was maybe 5 years ago, is it?
Daz might be able to put a figure on that.
Struggling. How old are you?
25 now. I was 21, so before 5 years.
What about you, Andrew?
I've I joined in February this year, so I've only been playing for 10 months. Still to make my league debut because I was meant to play away to Coxo, and they got flooded. Pitch got waterlogged. That was great. They got rearranged for 2 weeks later, and then the week before the lockdown started, the whole league was abandoned. So yeah, got a bit of a bone to pick with the league about that. Like.
What about you, Daz?
I've had 3 stints now with Windscale.
Go on then, give it.
Been since I was 8 up until I was about 21. Then I left and went to Whitehaven. I went to Whitehaven for about 8 years. Yeah, didn't go down well. And then I came back for a few years. Went back to Whitehaven for 12 months, and I've been back here now for a couple of years, I think. So this is my 3rd stint with them. I think every time I've played under a different manager as well.
Oof.
Including yourself.
Including yourself. Yeah, for those people that are listening that didn't know, Daz done. I think it was your 3rd stint back, wasn't it? You done a season as player manager, was that right?
That's right. Yeah. Just as interim.
Just interim manager. So, you guys, we've mentioned it. You play in the Wearside League. There'll be loads of goods and loads of bads. We'll start with Daz. What do you like and dislike about playing in the Wearside?
This is a toughie because it's easier to pick what you dislike, such as the midweek aways, because there's never many midweek homes. That's just how the fixtures work out, apparently. But it's midweek aways, and without sounding like facilities aren't as good as ours. We've got fantastic facilities, so everywhere we seem to go isn't as good as ours, which is a bit annoying, but there you go. The stuff, the positives. I should be rattling off a lot of here. It's got to be the standard, because when you grow up around here, it's the standard. There's nothing else like it unless you move out of this county. So I do enjoy the standard. I like the professionalism that we have amongst the team now as well. That's nice. You know, yeah. Do it right, do it properly.
Good effort. So this is probably going for you, Panda. What's your likes and dislikes?
Yeah, well, like you said, I've only been on a couple of away trips. I think I've only been on 2 or 3. But the atmosphere, because I've only known the club as what it is now, still the professional attitude and the standard that we're going into play. What I dislike, I'm going to piggyback off what Daz says, like some of the facilities, like we've got absolutely cracking facilities down at the Falcon, and to match that away, it's going to be a bit difficult. Apart from that, there's not really much I dislike. I like the atmosphere, and I like the travelling on the bus with the boys. It's always great crack, and well, I'm on the bus, so it's obviously going to be great crack. But apart from that, no, that's about it for me. I quite enjoy going away on a Saturday.
Saturday away games. I've seen a few videos of you boys coming home off a Saturday game. Oof. Matt?
I think it's just us.
What about you, Matt?
We'll wait until we win a game away from home.
For me, I would say I absolutely love the atmosphere. Just going away with your mates, having a game of football, getting on the drink, whether you're on the drink or not on the way back, it's always a laugh. Tunes are on, you can't not enjoy it. But to pick one thing I would say I dislike about playing in the Wearside is the amount of ham and peas pudding sandwiches we get to games. Absolutely gross how someone puts that in a sandwich and eats it, and expecting lads to eat that after playing football. It's just scandalous.
That's not the worst we've had, like. It's not the worst.
Yeah, I remember. I don't know.
Roast is dealt by hand in. Roast is in hot dogs, isn't it?
Yeah, I remember when I done an away fixture with Babs to help out, Matt might remember it. We went away to Silksworth, and it was maybe about 10 minutes to go. The floodlights went out. Half the floodlights went out. I was like, oh, God. And then final whistle blew, heading back to the changing rooms. The changing rooms were in total darkness. So these lads are getting cold showers with torches on their phones, thinking, oh, I'm glad I'm not involved in that.
Nothing new, pal. Not a once a week, but once in a season job. It's a couple of times a year we end up with cold showers at least.
Nightmare. So that brings us to the end of our first podcast. Thanks very much, lads. And I think just to spice things up a bit, you three lads will nominate the next three people that's going to come on.
One each.
The next one each, yeah. So, Andy, you go first. Who do you want?
I'll go with Begbie.
I'll go Begbie.
A bit of the Scouse flavouring.
What about you, Matt?
I'm going to pick on Lewis Jolly.
Oh, Lewis Jolly.
Loves a good interview, Jolly like.
And Daz, what about you?
Easy one for me. Studs.
Oh, so you could have a few tales to tell. So, thanks for your time, lads. Much appreciated, and I'll hopefully see you at the next home game.
Well done, cheers.
Cheers, man.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Cheers, later.
See you, fellas.